workouts, the coaches at Absolute MMA. He's got a really good long step pass, so he's going to show us some details that he has for that.
So let's start with Telehiva. So we're going to be in Telehiva in this position here, and a lot of time our opponent's going to be grabbing the ankle. Okay? If they grab the front of the pants, it can be a little bit different, but we'll just start with the one on the ankle because it's a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do is I kind of want to have my legs bending in this position, kind of like I'm kind of like pincing my knees together a little bit. I'm going to push to the side, so I use the straight arm. I push to the side and I move Lockie's leg off. So the Telehiva hook is now open. I'm going to go down underneath and I'm going to grab the wrist. So you can see here, I'm going to grab Lockie's wrist and I'm going to pull this one up. Okay, so we're in Telehiva. I'm going to push down. I'm going to move over the top of this leg. That's an important detail. So I'm going to go over the top of Lockie's hook. I grab the wrist here and I'm going to pull this up. As I pull this up, I'm going to move to the side. So I move from being on this side here, just a little step across, and now we're good to long step. So when we do the long step here, a lot of people find the movement really difficult because I'm going to do a couple of things at the same time. I'm going to drop my leg, I'm going to grab Lockie's head, and I'm going to put my head on Lockie's chest. So as I move across, I do three things at once. So if we just kind of slow that down to make it a little bit easier. When I move across here, I don't want to get too caught up in this leg. So I'm going to go right away, dropping my knee. I'm going to grab around Lockie's back here. So I actually kind of want this one to be quite deep. And I'm going to put my head onto Lockie's chest. A lot of people with the long step, they'll kind of fall over here and try and kick out. My head goes onto the mat, and if Lockie's really holding with this leg here, I can get myself in a half guard and get stuck. So I come across here, I pick this one up, I grab Lockie's back, I put my head in his chest, and now here comes the other thing which can be a little bit confusing with the long step. I want to keep my chest kind of flat here. So I don't want to rotate it too much like this. And the reason why people rotate a lot like this is because they think that this is like a big wide kick here. And it can be. You'll see some people do that style of kick with the long step. But what I want to do here is more like a straight back kick. So once I connected all these things up, I want to rip my leg straight back here and not around over the top, where if Lockie tracks it with the legs, he can trap me in half guard. I want to go straight back. So if we combine that all together, we're here, pinch my legs in, push out, jump over the top. I go grab this arm now, I pull it up, move to the side, and move down into the long step. Now that I'm here, I want to keep my toes live, and if Lockie does nothing in this position, I'm going to pick up the bottom leg here and drive it across to flatten out the arm. One more time.
And then I've got some questions that you're going to answer.
All right. Cool. So push down here, come over the top, grab the arm, bring Lockie's hips to the other side, jump across, pull up, finish the long step.
So definitely, when I've tried the long step, the most common way people would get out would be to like push and frame away, like that. Can you give us a few things? I already can feel what you're doing to prevent that, but maybe you can give us a few things.
So we'll just go from like the long step. So we're here.
Yeah, I sort of start to, push.
I think one thing that's important is I think a lot of people drop their hips and they turn out. So if you start to push now, you'll really off balance me and it'll be, you'll get your guard back. So here I really want to connect my head to your chest, okay? And obviously in this technique, I have this arm through. I want to keep my toes live, I want to try and keep my hips off the ground, and I want to start moving back here. When I move back, now this will become available, and I'll be able to pull this up. But quite often, like, you're right, a lot of people will start to push away, and sometimes if you do make this distance between my head, I'll have to change sides. So go across or jump over the other side. So if I can keep my head in here, now it's going to be much harder for you.
I don't feel like I could do that.
Yeah.
Actually, one other thing which I can feel I won't be able to do it, but that's your left elbow. It is, I think that some people cross face too far, maybe.
Yeah.
Like
I find
like if you went like elbow deep, often like you drop your weight now, and they'll like roll.
Yeah.
Roll back.
Yeah.
I know I can't do that. The way you're doing it, I feel that it's not available.
With this one, I kind of want the back of the gi, and I kind of want to start to pull up a little bit, so that when I come down, my elbow is flaring out. So yeah. I'm pushing this one out, and that's going to help me when I start to push back here, so that I can come back in.
It's not deep though, is it? You're quite like you got a lot of tension, but you're actually using it.
It's more like towards the end.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think the other thing with the long step that's a little bit tricky is the end. So sometimes people will kind of they'll do what you're doing. They'll try and get their hands in and hip out. Other times, they'll have the reaction going for the underhook really strongly, and you kind of need to have a couple of strategies at the end of the long step in order to kind of compensate for all of those things. So sometimes we'll end here where I can pull this up.
Yeah.
Other times if you're going for the underhook, I might not be able to do that, but I can jump on the top really well. So there's a couple of things there, and obviously if they hip out quite powerfully, that's a good opportunity to come back on a smash. Sometimes they'll keep the leg, but what will happen when they keep the leg, if they try and underhook, it's actually a really good opportunity to try and unhook here. It gets you into a really tight knee cut.
Alright, there's one other thing, and that's the angle you're getting that forces my leg to open out. So if you go in, like if you go to long step, and I'll just kind of like, I see some people almost doing it from here, right?
Yeah,
like you fall for it now, and
yeah.
I know you don't, this is gonna be a problem. You're doing something with the angle here.
You're loaded. Yeah. So whether it's going to be from De La Riva or inverse De La Riva, this is what this initial movement is here. So I'm pulling your arm and your leg in order to change your hips. So obviously I'm moving across, which in and of itself it might not change your hip angle. If I was here, I didn't grab your arm, I didn't pull you up, and I just moved across here, and now try to long step, I might get myself into some trouble. So what we want to do here is, sometimes I grab the even higher, but here is good too. Pull this up and move across. Now your body turns, and there's a kind of like a clear path to grab your head as I jump across the long step.
Go back to that foot position, because you're not like you're not giving me this.
No.
Even. I think you still can do it from that. But you're actually, when you come across, you're a little bit back.
Yeah.
So
when I come across here, I don't want to stop here.
Yeah.
If I stop here, you're going to hook the inverse.
This is too good of a...
Yeah, reverse De La Riva, and now we're dealing with a different
Go one step with that. Yeah, like maybe I can... Yeah.
It'll get caught up.
Yeah. Because you're a little bit back. I don't actually feel like I'm hooking properly. So good.
In the same vein, I actually like to long step from here, but I will clear this first.
Yeah. Yes.
And then go
you
down.
always want that hook off.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it gets caught up, like I said. Like a lot of times when you go for this technique, even if you're quick, someone will catch this, but you just want it to be, they just caught like the little end. Like, if you get caught up in here...
You don't want my knee deep, you want
if I get caught up with the leg too far in, then all of the options which we were talking about don't really come into play.
Cool. Thanks, Mike.